Welcome to the Gamescape, everybody. My name is Jarek, and today we're back in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is episode 128 of our playthrough, and in our previous episode, we found the House of Incest and Debauchery, where the succubi that we had hired were. We talked to them and convinced them to go to Gelderfang. They did want us to pay them another 40,000 gold, but we intimidated them into getting the payment from Shivaro, who we'd already given the money to. A bit more exploring after that got us into a fight with some vampires. It was a bit rough. The party was not properly buffed up, which was an oversight on my part from our last visit to the Nexus, which we will make sure to buff up once we get into the city here. And we ended up winning, so all is well. We got a new +4 light crossbow that extends the range of healing spells from touch to 30 feet. So we gave that to Ember, and now she can cast her healing spells without having to run up to somebody, which is going to be a really nice bonus. After that, we went back to the Nexus here, and something weird happened to both Valric and Targona, the angel, at the same time. Once we stepped through the portal into the Nexus, there was some kind of a searing pain that they both experienced. Unfortunately, the Hand of the Inheritor wasn't able to sense any magic or any curses or anything like that, so for now, we just have to wait and see if it happens again. A few more plans were made at the Nexus. We need to track down the Echo and try to save Eliandra, although that is a secondary objective to our main mission here. The Hand doesn't believe that the Echo's lair is in Illusionera, but he does think that there are plenty of minions of his here, and that if we can capture one or whatever, we can potentially have it lead us back to the portal. Targona's going to take the lead on that, and Berengar had the idea that he could try to lure them out by slaying a bunch of demons and proclaiming the greatness of Iomedae in the middle of the city, but that's reckless, and I told him to maybe hold off on that plan. We'll keep that as like our backup plan, I think, maybe. Landon and Ruchelet both have things that they would like us to help with. Ruchelet wants us to confront her nightmare, Demalcio. He is the former mortal that she basically corrupted to the point where he's no longer distinguishable from a demon. He was the shadow that was in her dream there, and calling her his venomous butterfly. And so he found out she's here in the city, and he wants to meet up with him. She wants to meet with him and basically let him know that what she did to him is not like necessarily permanent, and he could, redeem himself. And if he decides not to take that path, she at least wants to ask for his forgiveness. So we agreed to help her with that. Lan can also sense the demons of Emelec. That goes all the way back to the Shield Maze, and he was the demon that was corrupting the mongrels. And so he wants to go after him and put him down for good. And so we agreed to help both of them on these matters, and that is what we'll do. But we're standing here at the portal. Targona said she was going to meet us by a portal. I thought it was this one here, but apparently not, so that's okay. And so we will go ahead and get into the city. I think I'm going to sit Woljif down for this one and bring Lan along with Arushale, so that we can knock out maybe both of their things at the same time without... I don't know if we'll get it done before we come back to the Nexus to rest again, but it's possible, so I'm going to do that. One thing that we did pick up that I thought was pretty interesting, I have given it to Arushale, is a new suit of light armor. It's the Seasoned Assassin's armor. It's +4 studded armor, but gives total concealment against all ranged attacks. And if you get critted by a ranged attack, you get damage resistance 10 for a D3 rounds. So the downside to it is if you get a critical hit in melee combat, it knocks you prone for a round. So it's got a little bit of a downside there, but it's not bad. I think we're going to be okay with it. And so I also gave her the natural armor +4 amulet because she wasn't wearing an amulet for some reason. I don't know exactly why that was. She also doesn't have gloves. Are any of these okay for her? This one is for increased spell save DC on enchantment school spells. Yeah, that's no good for her. She doesn't have natural weapons, so those aren't any good, I don't think. Gloves have claws that deal a D8 slashing damage on unarmed attack. If the enemy is of an evil alignment, they get 2d6 damage instead. In addition to these claws, give the wearer +1 enhancement bonus on attack and damage rolls. So they're +1 claws, basically, is what they are. She's got a +3 or 4 rapier here, +3 rapier for her melee weapon that she never really needs. We did also pick up this helm here, and I forgot to take a look at it last time. It's a +5 competence bonus to combat maneuver defense and electricity resistance 30. Also, if you get hit by electricity damage, your next attack deals an additional 2d6 electricity damage. Kind of nice, but nothing really has been using electricity against us too much, and everybody has helmets that they're using, and so I think probably that one's going to get sold, but we'll see. It's worth almost 20,000 gold, so not bad. But anyway, I did go ahead and switch out her armor. Like I said, she was just wearing the +3 breastplate. Her actual armor class went down by 2 by swapping this armor out, but I think the concealment is going to more than make up for that with 50% concealment bonus against range attacks. She doesn't get into melee very often, and so I think she's going to be just fine how she is. So that said, we're going to get into the city. We're going to head for the Battle Bliss Arena today, and we are going to see about talking to Lady Valexia, and we are going to see about maybe getting a fight with another member of the Nahyndrian League. So that's what we're up to today. We are Amber and Denio, and I want Lan and Arushale. So this is our party for today. We have a bunch of 4 negative levels here on Sela, so we'll get those knocked off of her once we get into the city. Let's go ahead and get on this. We're going to Battle Bliss. All right, here we are. Oh, you know, we're right by the arena here, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We have to turn the thing right when we get to the arena. All right, so if we take a look at our map here, we do have some other stuff that we need to do down here yet. There is the matter of helping out Chalexia with her girls that are getting harassed, and I think that was here in the lower city somewhere too, so we'll have to take a look here. Monago's Hideout, Bad Luck Tavern. This is also Bad Luck Tavern. This one here is to the middle city. So I don't know exactly where that is. We might have to do a little bit of looking around and see if we can find their hideout. But that's not going to be for this instant here. Let's get into the Battle Bliss Arena here. All right, Valexia is here. For your date, Valexia has exchanged her previous dress for an equally elegant outfit. The blood red hue of her new gown seems particularly fitting considering the activities of the arena. There you are, Valric. Let's hurry to the box reserved for distinguished guests. I'm determined not to let you enjoy the spectacle from any other seats. Okay, we'll tell her her new dress is nice. The demon blushes slightly and gives you a pleased smile. I'm flattered that you notice such things, especially here in the arena, where there are so many other sights to capture your attention. Speaking of which, the fight is about to start. Maybe we'll get to see Gelderfang fight here. Let's see what happens. Oh, this doesn't look like much of a fight, does it? A fierce battle unfolds in the arena. The bloody freak surges forward, launching into a brutal attack against Atsum. Atsum desperately tries to resist the onslaught, but the bloody freak is relentless. He strikes one furious blow after another, showing no signs of exhaustion or fatigue as he bears down on his opponent. Atsum attempts to fight back against her enemy with quick, sudden attacks, but fails to find an opening. Her movements begin to slow, and her footsteps leave behind a crimson trail of blood. Valexia observes you closely. Her eyes sparkle with lively curiosity, and you are forced to turn your attention away from the fight as she asks, "Slavery is the cornerstone of our life in the Abyss, and gladiator fights are a popular source of entertainment. How are such shows perceived on your homeland of Galarian? What is your view on slavery?" We got some choices here. Let's go this way. This seems neutral-ish. People hold different opinions about slavery on Galarian, but it's forbidden by law in many places. Valexia looks slightly perplexed. But if these laws dictate the will of others, they restrict freedom. How is that any different from the chains and shackles of slavery? This is all so complicated, but so exciting at the same time. I'd like to learn more about your world. Oh, there's some good hits. With a victorious growl, the bloody freak hurls himself recklessly at his rival, who appears to be exhausted from her wounds. However, Atslum is merely feigning weakness. She dodges at the last moment and strikes a resounding blow. Blood gushes from the demon's wound, and his growl of rage gives way to a howl of desperation. Alexia glances disinterestedly at the arena, then returns her attention to you. She's clearly more interested in the conversation than in watching the fight. Nevertheless, even Galarians who are not enslaved are often forced to fight by those in authority, yet they still charge into battle with as much zeal as those two gladiators down there in the arena. So tell me, what gives them the motivation to fight? What do they hope to achieve? So more choices here. Conscience and our nobility. Those with honor will follow the orders of their sovereign and fight because it's their duty. That's something that she might actually appreciate. Those who are worthy of their freedom. So I don't want to head back chaotic side just because we've tried to get kind of towards the lawful side. So I think she won't mind this answer. Demon muses thoughtfully. To fight simply because something within your soul demands that you give your life for another. How incredibly strange and intriguing. Atslum, no longer putting up a pretense of weakness, advances against the bloody freak, dealing him several painful blows. She strikes with precision, drawing blood, but never delivering a fatal blow. The audience goes wild as Atslum toys with her opponent, and the smell of blood hangs heavy in the air. There's no doubt that the merciless symphony of violence being played out in the arena will soon reach its deadly crescendo. Oh. That's going to leave a mark. But the bloody freak isn't finished. He lets out a monstrous, bloodthirsty howl. It reverberates around the arena as he channels his powerful rage into one last brutal attack. He strikes as swift as lightning, and Atslum's fury of blows is brought to a sudden halt. She sways slightly, then doubles over as if embracing the blade that was just plunged through her body. Then, with another primal roar, the demon cuts her down, dispatching his weakened opponent with one powerful strike. Alexia watches Atslum closely and muses thoughtfully. But every warrior will meet their death eventually. How do Galarians face the end of their life? Are they scared of death? Do they despise it? Or do they welcome it as a friend? Ha! We can ask the Hand of the Inheritor what he thinks of Alexia. Let's see what he has to say. The angel's voice is tense, as if he's expecting a fight to break out at any moment. She is too gentle, too placid, nothing at all like how she used to behave in battle. No, when we fought one another, she was never meek and gentle. She was a flurry of rage and angry curses. This masquerade, these tricks of hers, it all seems very suspicious to me. Well, let's say this, there's no reason to be afraid of a worthy death. Alexia nods approvingly. I love bravery. Cowardice and insecurity are so dull and predictable. Only true courage leads to expected results. The screams and howls of the crowd are deafening. The bloody freak, oblivious to his numerous wounds, basks in the admiration of the audience. The arena master's voice rings out across the battle blitz. All hail the winner! Hail the bloody freak! Hepsimiro rises from her place and announces loudly, I want this bloodthirsty fighter to be my servant. From now on, he is my slave, and anyone insolent enough to object will face my wrath. Do you want to outbid Hepsimiro for this fierce gladiator? Let's go with some of our other options here that will get us some XP, maybe. Having a formidable bodyguard is quite the status symbol. You outbid Hepsimiro, you'll wipe that smirk off her arrogant face. That's a 7 or better. This one is a 27. That's a 5 or better. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's try for the outbidder. If you outbid Hepsimiro for this gladiator, you'll wipe that smirk off her arrogant face. Succeeded. Alexia averts her gaze, but fails to hide her mischievous smile. What a positively delightful idea. I can't resist. Ah, what you do to me. You've discovered my weakness. Only moments ago, Hepzibah commanded the attention of the entire audience as she boasted about her power. However, when Valexia rises from her seat, all eyes turn toward the succubus. I dare to challenge the claim of the most esteemed Hepzibah. I am touched by this fighter's tenacity. He has found a way to my heart, and I wish to make him my bodyguard. If anyone dares to argue against my right to take such a claim, they can say it to my face. The arena master glances cautiously at Hepzibah, then turns to Valexia and gives her a respectful nod. The crowd erupts into jeers and shouts, clearly enjoying the public humiliation of Baphomet's daughter. Hepzibah bellows and utters wild curses, and the sounds of her wrath shake the arena. But Valexia ignores the threats and a look of magnificent with a look of magnificent disdain and gives you a sly smile. This is so exciting. I've enjoyed our time together here at the arena. However, I cannot resist the urge to appear with you somewhere in high society. I'm sure you wouldn't say no to attending a private reception with me at the Harem of the Ardent Dreams. Shamira has prepared something special for her guests, and I would very much like for you to experience it with me. I shall wait for you at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. You really must come. I simply won't take no for an answer. All right. Valexia suddenly pauses as she's about to leave. She turns towards you with a look of gentle reproach. Oh, you should have reminded me. I nearly forgot. After such a wonderful time together, you must become a regular guest. I insist. Please accept this little gift as a reminder that the doors of my manor are always open to you. This coin is the key to the teleportation arch located in the upper city. I would not normally give something like this to my ordinary guests, but there's nothing ordinary about you, is there? Okay, so we now have access to Valexia's mansion through the portals. Generally speaking, a pretty good outcome for all things considered, I think. Got to play off a couple of the high powers of the arena here, of the city here, against each other. So that is good. Let's talk to our friend Zeklex here. And, well, our friend, I say friend in quotation marks here. So, talk to him. Hopefully the succubi arrived for Galderfang. Oh, you know what I need to do before we get going here, though? I didn't really remember to do it. I said I was going to, and then I forgot. So, first of all, things she needs.
Rely on me.
She had something. She has gray pox. So what I can do is I can do a lay on hands on her.
A bright future awaits
And that'll get rid of
us.
the disease. Okay, gray pox. Oh, fails to dispel gray pox though. Huh. Well, maybe it won't get rid of the disease. And then she can do also, we need a restoration spell, which she doesn't have. Can you do restoration? I don't think you can. Who did I have that could do restores? She can cast them herself, right? Maybe lesser restoration. That was it. You can do lessers at least. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this will... This is restoration. This costs 2 diamond dust. Dispels any temporary magical effects, reducing one of the subject's ability scores. Does not remove permanent effects such as curses or diseases. Cures D4 points of temporary ability damage to one subject's ability scores. It also eliminates any fatigue suffered by the character. Sorry, I need to get this expanded. Does not restore permanent ability drain.
This war must end.
I guess we're going to have to maybe get Social.
Meditate
I
on your
don't
mistakes.
think he can do it.
It might make you feel better.
Maybe he can. He's got restoration. Lesser. Move disease. Inspiring recovery. Genie kind. I don't think this is going to help. I don't think restoration lesser helps against. he dispelled it. That's fine. I don't know if permanent negative levels can be dispelled by lesser restoration. It doesn't look like it can.
Soot is restless. I wonder why.
You're serious. Heroism. Spell magic. Scorching ray. Yeah, she doesn't have it at all. I thought I had somebody who had that.
I shall not be swayed from my path.
Strange. Certainly it wasn't Woljif. I know Sociel does, but I thought that somebody else had it. Alright, well, I guess we'll have to survive it. She's down about 20 hit points and a bunch of minus to things like saving throws and whatnot. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see. I arranged a deal with the succubi. Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Your help in these matters is invaluable, since I cannot attend them myself. I think you will find the reward for your assistance is quite generous. I've arranged a fight for you against a member of the Nahyndrian League. Please let me know as soon as you're ready. Okay, we got our 40,000 gold back. Should compensate you for your expenses. Hope this wasn't just a waste of time. You have no idea how important this was. Thank you for your help. All right, I am not ready to enter the arena yet, nor am I ready to go to the marina, but that's a whole different thing. All right, let's get Valric at least buffed up here, because he is, well, everybody's going into the fight, so let's just get everybody.
I will help where I can.
We're going to go with the angelic aspect here.
We'll make things right.
You need your mage armor. You
I'm
need
always
your
open
mage
to
armor,
ideas.
which is in a different spot, which is kind of annoying. Why don't we swap that around so that they're in the same place?
I'm all ears.
All right, Lan. I don't think you have much when it comes to buffs. Maybe you do. Dispel magic, cape of wasps. What's this? This is one per round. Yeah, 1 round per level. Magic Fang Greater. We will cast this on Trip. That's an hour per level, so that's good. Bruchelay, you're going to have...
Cease.
See, this is a minute per level. Hurricane Bow. This is a minute per level as well. Aspect of the Falcon.
You called.
Okay, so let's get those go. Okay, that's all those. She's going to also cast Hurricane Bow.
Hmm?
Do you have Bark Skin? I think you do. You don't. What do you have for buffs here? Animal growth might not be the worst thing either for Trip. One of the... So when I was leveling these guys up, I didn't really talk about this. I got, for Lan's next mythic level, I actually got Mythic Companion. And so Trip gets a bunch of bonuses based on Lan's mythic level, and he also ignores damage resistance now, which is really nice. So that'll be kind of a nice thing. So Trip's going to be decent now in combat. So that'll be good. Aspect of the Falcon. Okay, yeah, that's okay.
You're a good person.
All right, you
I like
get
you.
to have anything else? Yeah, that's about all you got for buffs.
You are my favorite aide.
You're going to haste up the party, although this is going to be the last thing we do. That's fine there. You've got
Rely on me.
full strength. Do you have anything that's giving you strength buff already? You do, but you only get a +2, so this will get you to +4. Or I can just put a... So you get what? Con and... Yeah, physical might. So it's con and strength. I don't have a +4 con belt. Otherwise, I might put that on her and give her the +4 strength as well for through the spell. But that isn't happening, obviously, so that's okay.
We will win this war.
So you can definitely have bull strength. Valric, you can have Shield of Demon Kind. Do we need that? I don't know if we need that necessarily. Ward against harm. Target gains immunity to nauseated and sickened conditions, diseases and poisons, ability damage, and ability drain for 10 minutes. Probably we don't need those right now. Divine Power is an idea, although that's... You have Restoration. That's what I thought somebody had it. I just missing it in the levels here. All right, so this... Let me look at this real quick here. Costs 2 diamond dust, but that's okay. Dispels temporary negative levels or 1 permanent negative level. Well, I mean, that would be something. We might as well do that. At least give her a -1. Give her a -1 here. There we go. Took a while. Oh, it did get rid of all of her. Okay, well, that works. Those must have been considered temporary, even though they were listed as permanent. All right. Sword of Heaven. One of these lasts for a minute. I don't remember which one it was. Instrument of Sword of Heaven does. All right, I think at this point we're pretty well buffed up.
Yes, what?
Let's get in there and then we'll do the haste right as the combat starts. All right, we're ready. I hope you came prepared. The members of the Nahyndrian League are formidable opponents. Atslum, your next opponent, has claimed the lives of over 100 of her opponents. She's also been slain in the arena on 3 separate occasions. However, she never stays dead. It's quite mysterious, but she always comes back to life, ready to fight in the battle bliss once more. Okay? Do we want anything? Will it be a fight to the death? Of course, every fight must end in the death of the gladiator. It's the most important part of the show. Many of our spectators come here just to watch the gladiators finish off their fallen opponents. They want to see spectacular death scenes and cunning coup de grace. Of course, some fighters survive the ordeal and can be pieced back together, but the tiefling gives you an appraising glance. I wouldn't bet on it if I were you. All right, so who's my opponent? What do we know about her? An imp scowls and covers his face with his hands. He peeks out in between his fingers, his tiny fingers, as if he was wearing a mask. The tiefling glances at his familiar, then nods. Atslum will be your opponent. She's a very dangerous member of the Nahyndrian League, but she's a bit of a mystery. She used to work for the Assassin's Guild, and no one knows why she left. She is swift, deadly, and violent, but most importantly, she's extremely hard to kill. Stay on your guard against her. Earning your membership in the Nahyndrian League will not be easy. All right, let's do this. I wish you good luck. If you die, greet death with a sweet kiss, so on and so forth. Just her, huh? Okay, now he wants a place in the Nahyndrian League. This is Valric, the Mephit Slayer. The Nahyndrian League will proudly present its fighter. You all know her, you obsess over her, and you all fear her. We've enjoyed her hundreds of victories in the arena, and 3 times we've enjoyed her defeat and painful death, but every time she's come back from the dead. An artist of suffering, Atslum thrice killed. Yay! Crowd goes wild. I'll cut your eyes out faster than you can blink. The winner of this fight will be granted membership in the Nahyndrian League, and the other, of course, will die. Or, in the case of Atslum, not die. We will have to find out. Fighters, commence battle! Alright, so let's get that haste spell going right now.
Are we ready to move out?
And let's get on it.
The light take you!
A wild gaze. Greater invisibility. Okay. Nenio does 3 damage to Trip. Nice. Okay, who's up? Trip is up. Okay. That's something. Ember is up. You have, let's do that True Seeing Communal. Since we obviously need that, you don't have it, but you do have True Seeing. Do you have anything that's going to help against all of the things that, all the bad things that just happened to us here? Let's maybe just do a curse here. Let's do a Evil Eye on her armor class. Saving throw succeeded, but we can cackle that. Okay, Valric. I think we just go after her at this point. See what we need here. Oh, we need 2s. Yeah, this isn't going to be much of a fight if that's all we need. Okay, Ruchelet, she's down. Can you cast anything good here? Inspiring Recovery, Blessing the Salamander. I don't think so. Oh, you didn't cast Barkskin, did you? I don't remember. I don't think it matters. We're gonna try. If we hit, great. If we don't,
I
it's
will
okay.
resist.
Arena, I'll be back. I always come back. This is not the end. Well, okay, well, that was easy. This can't be happening. The Nahyndrian League's fighter is down. The fearsome Atslum has fallen. Long live the newest member of the Nahyndrian League. That was pretty easy. Ermangaleth solemnly raises his hands for silence. His eyes sweep across the arena before coming to rest on you. There's a sly look on his face, and he gives you a cheerful wink before quickly resuming pompous and dignified expression. He turns back to the crowds, and his voice booms over the arena. Behold, newest member of the Nahyndrian League. He's invincible, bloodthirsty, violent, and cunning. It is Valric, the Mephit Slayer. Glory and death. The crowd goes wild. Demons climb over one another, trying to get a better look at you. The roar of the spectators grows so loud you can feel it in your bones. The audience is utterly enthralled. They look at you in wonder and worship as if you're a god. Ruchelet's whisper is barely audible. Glory and death. That's the battle cry of doomed madmen. How many times have I heard it? How many times have I shouted it while standing in the arena? I run from what I have done. I run as fast as I can, but even the smallest things can remind me of my past. Then it all comes flooding back, and I remember all the terrible things I've done. I don't know if we want to get involved with this here. This seems ill-advised, given our current place here. Let's just be stoic about this. How about that? Ermangaleth lays his flat hand on your shoulder with an exaggerated friendliness. This gladiator is no longer an unknown fighter, a loner without a place to belong. For his valor and courage, Valric will receive a collar of the Nahyndrian League. From now on, he is the precious property of the Battle Bliss. I am pleased to tell you that I have personally taken this worthy warrior under my wing. Look out, champ. Ermangaleth pats you on the shoulder again, and as he does, the world around you fades to black. Received the Nahyndrian League collar. That doesn't sound good, does it? Hey, that's enough fooling around. You have more Mephits to defeat. Ermangaleth looms over you. The arena master's massive, bloated torso wriggles wildly as he bursts into a fit of maniacal laughter. As the Cambians howls with amusement, you realize that your neck feels stiff. You reach up a hand and discover that you are now wearing a jewel-studded metal collar. The hand's voice is filled with sorrow and remorse. I've let you down, champion. That fiend has taken you captive. I was unable to stop him. I could not perceive his motives until the veil of insanity that shrouds his damaged mind. Through the veil of insanity that shrouds his damaged mind. I knew we were in the abyss, a place where you can't even trust your own shadow, but I failed to be vigilant. Well, what's done is done. Stay strong. We will find a way to free you. I expect an explanation. Ermangaleth grins. What did you expect? You were so desperate to join the Nahyndrian League. Now you're a member. Did you think I'd let you wander around Lucianera and risk your ass out on the streets? Well, think again. I don't want anyone to slit your throat and leave you bleeding to death on some back alley. A death without any spectators? Absolutely not. No, when you die, the crowds will be screaming from the stands. That's a promise. The Cambion points to your collar with a smile. Please accept this small gift with my compliments. It will guarantee your safety. This collar will make sure you do not leave the battle bliss. I don't want you to look for trouble out on the streets. It will also prevent you from picking fights with the other gladiators outside the scheduled fight times. It would be so wasteful for you to start killing one another outside the arena. The crowds would miss out on all the action. No, there will be time and place for fighting, but here you can experience other kinds of entertainment. You'll enjoy all the pleasures accorded a new star at the arena. The best food and drink, the most passionate succubi, and throngs of adoring fans. You'll love being my property, I promise. Well, we'll go lawful path again. After I won my victory in the arena, you deprived me of my freedom. You acted dishonorably. I don't think he probably cares. You wanted to become a legend. I can make that happen, but legends don't just walk the streets of Lucianera. They can't live among the common folk, easily accessible to the adoring crowds and unwashed masses. No, you must be distant and aloof. If someone catches a glimpse of you, it should be all they talk about. You want them to brag about the encounter and tell all their friends. This will increase your reputation, and soon you will be in high demand. Yes, this is your new life. I've amputated your freedom like an unnecessary appendage so that you can achieve true greatness. Take this collar off. Could demand we free me now. Where's everybody else? Ermangaleth sounds distracted. Your companions. Ah, yes, there's a group of Galarians who came looking for you, but I gave the guards strict orders to keep them away. Are they your slaves? Forget about them. You won't need them anymore. I own the best slaves in Lucianera, and they're all at your disposal. Yeah, why don't you take this collar off? Demon winks at you. Do you realize that you're not my first obstinate guest, don't you? You do realize that. Some of the creatures who have worn my collars once aspired to become demon lords. Trust me, I'm very prudent. My collars are designed to restrain all manners of creatures. Not even a Baelor could escape. I'll find a way out of this. The arena master nods with a chuckle. Of course you will, but it won't happen the way you imagine. The crowd wants to see Galderfang tear you apart. They simply cannot wait for that to happen, and who am I to deny them? If I ignore their desires, they will storm the arena. Yes, soon you will take your last stand in the arena. When the champion is done with you, you will be truly free. Of course, you will be dead, but your spirit will live on. No one will ever forget the ambitious newcomer who almost defeated the champion. Hand of the Inheritor says, this collar reminds me of the seal we broke back in Dresden. If I try to break it here, its powers will be unleashed, and the collar will likely kill you. I don't want to take that risk, at least not right now. Let's only consider that option as a last resort. For now, you should try to stay calm, be vigilant, and look for opportunities to escape. I'm certain you'll find a way to get free. Not everyone seems to like the way you run the arena, we'll say to him. Oh, please don't start spouting all that rubbish about fair fights. What does that even mean? One of the opponents is always stronger than the other. That's the whole point. After all, the fights are supposed to be entertaining. The spectators come here to watch the strong triumph over the weak. They want to enjoy the tale of victory without ever leaving their seat. The arena is a theater of violence and a deadly circus, but it's not a fighting pit. After all, fights always follow one of two narratives. Either the monster prevails over its helpless victim, or the invincible hero chops off the monster's head. The outcome of every fight is predetermined, and its narrative depends on what the spectators want to see. Some fighters are crowd favorites. The audience cheers them on with whistles and shouts of encouragement. And of course, there are other fighters that they despise. The crowd jeers them from the stands. Why would anyone want to change all that? It would ruin the show. The audience wants a performance, not a competition match between two professional gladiators. What's the point of a fight without any drama? You might as well just flip a coin to decide who wins. Nobody wants fair fights except for Zeklex. The audience likes things the way they are. But Zeklex handles the betting tables, and they haven't been very profitable. Of course, under my management, the arena makes money in other ways, but that's not enough for him. He wants to turn my magnificent theater into a violence into a stupid slaughterhouse. I don't really mind Method Slayer. I think it's kind of funny, actually. I think you've gone completely insane. Ermangaleth smiles disarmingly. I surely am. I am mad as a hatter. My marbles long lost. But what did you expect? You're in the abyss. Everyone is crazy here. If you are sane and sensible, you are shunned by society. You'll be considered an outcast. All right, I think we're done here. Get some rest and restore your strength. The healer will mend your wounds, and Zeklex will take care of your other needs. All right. So that's interesting. Talk to Zeklex real quick. See what's up here. Zeklex takes a wary step back. I thought I had convinced Ermangaleth not to take you captive, but clearly I was wrong. But he's a raving lunatic and constantly changes his decisions. You should direct your anger toward him. Oh, did you know that I was walking into a trap? I didn't know for sure, but I had my suspicions. All the members of the Nahyndrian League are considered Ermangaleth's property, and since gladiators are valuable assets, they're not allowed to leave the arena. All the elite fighters at Battle Bliss wear those collars. However, I did suggest to Ermangaleth that he should make an exception in your case. I told him that he should allow you to remain free. I thought I had managed to convince him, but clearly I was wrong. Right. I guess we're going to... Well, I know why we have to wear the collar. Fine, whatever. I apologize once again. I would certainly set you free if I could. Would you? Would you help us escape? Of course I will. I have a plan that will free you from the collar and help you defeat Gelderfang. And trust me, you will need my help. While you were unconscious, Ermangaleth managed to find a Nahyndrian crystal. Gelderfang has been obsessed with getting his hands on one, and his wish finally came true. A demon called Mustafan took the crystal into Gelderfang's room and locked the door. For the next few hours, the sound of the champion's screams shook the arena. When Gelderfang emerged from his room, he was covered in blood, but he also looked stronger and more powerful than ever. Ermangaleth is confident that you won't stand a chance against his champion, but I disagree. I think you can win. Zeklex lowers his voice conspiratorially. I want to overthrow Ermangaleth and take over the Battle Bliss. Ermangaleth is terrible at his job, and he's standing in the way of my ambitions. There's no denying that he is a genius. No one can get the crowds excited like he can, but his management of the arena could not be worse. The fights have turned into a bloody circus. Opponents are never evenly matched, the crowds are losing interest, and the passion of the audience is fading away. I want to change all that. But it won't be easy to kill Ermangaleth. The current champion, Gelderfang, protects him. After his last escapade, Ermangaleth has forbidden Gelderfang from leaving his side. That means Ermangaleth is only vulnerable when the champion is fighting in the arena, so I want to offer you a deal. I'll help you eliminate Gelderfang if you help me overthrow Ermangaleth. If you agree to my proposal, I'll make sure your companions join you in the arena when you need them. Then you can kill Gelderfang together. You can have the title and all the glory that comes with it. You'll become the champion, and I'll take over the arena. Deal? Tiefling extends his hand to you and looks at you solemnly. Did you mention Mustafan? I killed him not long ago. I've heard more than one person claim the same thing before. It didn't stick. That weasel of Mustafan is surprisingly hard to kill. Fine, we'll take the deal. Tiefling begins to speak in a brisk, matter-of-fact tone. The imp nods his agreement with each sentence. Gelderfang is, of course, an extremely dangerous opponent, but he's not without his vulnerabilities. For example, he doesn't know that you hired the succubi to keep him company. Since you paid for their services, I think they'd be willing to accommodate some special requests. If you want to weaken Gelderfang before his fight, I'm sure you could persuade them to help you. I think that's everything. Try to make use of these advantages during the fight. It'll be your best chance to defeat Gelderfang. And while you fight for the title of champion, I'll eliminate Ermangaleth. He'll be vulnerable without his favorite bodyguard. Then the Battle Bliss arena will be ours. Of course, you won't have to fight Gelderfang all by yourself. Your companions were worried when Ermangaleth kidnapped you. I reached out to them and secured their cooperation. I'll make sure they join you in the arena when the time comes. Okay, what do I need to know about Gelderfang? Well, the fight will not be fair, as you already know. Ermangaleth doesn't believe in the level playing field. First, he will send in some weak fighters just to whet the audience's appetite. Then you will have to face more experienced gladiators. I have no doubt that you'll defeat them, but they might prove troublesome. Try not to let them wear you down, and avoid injury as much as possible. You'll need to save your strength. Next, I suspect that some members of the Nahyndrian League will enter the arena. Ermangaleth will send in some of his most loyal fighters. I expect Atzlam and Rux, they don't care if the fight is fair or not. All they care about is gold and fame. Finally, after all that, Gelderfang himself will enter the fight, and that's when Ermangaleth will be defenseless. All right, fine, let's do it. Zeklek nods, but doesn't speak. His face is screwed up in concentration, as if trying to calculate something in his head. Finally, he gives a satisfied nod. Yes, we are taking a risk, but delaying any longer will not improve our situation. In fact, it might make it worse, so we need to take action now. It's time for you to prepare for the hardest fight of your life. Gelderfang is a true master of violence, and now with the Nahyndrian crystal, he's stronger than ever. Okay, so we need to talk to the succubi. Rest up. You'll need your strength for the upcoming fight. Find me when you're ready, and I'll escort you to the arena. All right, so we're going to have to... we're going to stop here for this episode, but what we got coming up, we got to go find the succubi and get them to wear down the champion a little bit with their wily ways, and then we'll go ahead and make sure we're good and buffed up, and we'll get in there and do what we need to do with that. We did get a new mythic level, or a new level, so I will go ahead and level everybody up off screen, and then we will take the fight, and we will take on Gelderfang, and I guess Zeklex becomes the ruler of Battle Bliss. Of course, I do notice that nothing was ever said really about the collar coming off, but we'll see what happens. I don't think Zeklex is as dangerous as Ermangaleth is, so once we're back together with our party, I think we'll be okay. So that's going to do it for this episode, though, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, do me a big favor, hit that like button for me. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. And we'll see you guys in the next episode when we fight the champ. Thanks for watching.